Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy, ColtsTalk. We are back with another video, and today's topic of discussion is Matt Ryan a upgrade from Carson Wentz? Now, this is a question I threw out a few days ago on Twitter, and I got a few good replies. It really did really good on Twitter with the numbers. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description. So all my platforms where you find me, I'm definitely on TikTok and Instagram, most of all. But I do think significantly Matt Ryan is an upgrade over Carson Wentz. A lot of fans today really think that they're on the same stratosphere of play, which I think is kind of crazy because, Carson Wentz, a lot of people say he didn't have a terrible season with the Colts last year. That's why he went for that to go to for the trade that went through with Washington. But I think the numbers doesn't do it justice. I don't think it does it justice to what we're talking about here when we talk about Carson Wentz last season with the Colts. He was a great guy. Carson Wentz is a great guy. This is nothing against Carson. Of course, you have all those people that bring in politics and the vaccine and all of these other things that come with him. But I think on the field, I think he was a pretty decent quarterback, and I think he still was. Was he the best deal to go for last year? Absolutely not. What we sacrificed was definitely paying a toll this year going into next season. I did think we gave up too much, especially for the performance that we've seen last year. But still, overall, I think it was a risk it. I think Chris Ballard and management, they really like to take risks, especially on guys that's coming off of injuries. I think we both know what we're talking about here. I think they like taking a risk and gambling. You can kind of see that this offseason as well. There was a lot of names out there that we didn't go acquire that we could have acquired, but as you guys, if you didn't see the tweet that came out that talked about how agents really pretty much put the Colts on blast. A lot of agents said that the Colts were stingy with their money. And I think we kind of noticed it at this point from the recent off seasons and these free agencies that transpired that we didn't go get talent is that I think we all know that Ballard can be a pretty stingy guy when it comes to these deals. And I don't really think he wants to overpay on talent. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you see the point that Ballard's coming from. I think we all would love to have free agents come to the Colts. And I think he's just not going to pay more than what he's expecting. All types, it's like a 50-50 chance for every free agent you pick up. There's a bargain, there's a worst case scenario that plays in factor. You throw in incentives, and some players are just like, okay, if he's not going to give me what I want, I'm going to go somewhere else. And that's pretty much how it's been all season. And that's not a good thing to look at when you're coming from the situation that the Colts are in. But I think Ballard really likes developing talent out the draft. I really do. I think he really likes developing talent. You can kind of see it. The proof is in the pudding. All the talent that he's drafted and he pretty much gotten is exploded. They pretty much went top tier. I mean, they're pretty much leveling up and developing the talent from the Colts. You can build a championship roster through that. You can't take that away. You can build a championship roster and make the Super Bowl by developing talent. You keep bringing in new people every year, it's not going to change the outcome. It's just going to start from square one every year. Now, bringing in veterans with the developmental talent will increase your chance of making the Super Bowl. I do agree with that. I agree with that 100%. And that's what we're lacking this offseason. We are not bringing in veteran talent. I mean, the most talent that we've gotten is Matt Ryan and Yannick Ngakoue. And that is a huge upgrade from what we had last season because those are two key pieces that you need to be successful. You need to have an elite talent at quarterback, and you need to have some good pass rush, and that is what Yannick Ngakoue and Matt Ryan are. Now, I would give Ballard the credit of that because those are two upgrades that we needed. Did we sacrifice players? Absolutely. We sacrificed, George Odom. We sacrificed Taylor Stallsworth. We sacrificed Rock Ya-Sin. The list goes on and on and on of all the players we sacrificed to get here where we are right now. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Like I said, I understand where Ballard's coming from and why he's not paying all his talent or overpaying his talent for this money. And when you look at the situation, really, you can't blame him. The Jacksonville Jaguars ruined the market. For these wide receivers and these talents, the numbers are insane right now for contracts. They pretty much blew the market up. They went and paid this guy top dollar, the wide receiver they acquired in free agency. They paid him top dollar, and now all these guys are like, oh, well, if he's making this, I want to make this type of money. Like, you can't blame RGM, or you can't blame Ballard for not trying to overpay for some talent that can pretty much be mid at the end of the year. or they might not even make it to the end of the season. It's not on him. The market is blown up. It's ruined. So it is what it is. Like I said, I would love to have some big names come to Indy. But at the end of the day, it's up to the agent and the player to make the deal. Belichick, he puts the contract out there. If you don't want to sign it, you can go somewhere else. He'll keep developing players. I mean, hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like I said, the market is pretty much blown up. Everyone's asking for big paydays, and it ain't gonna come from Indy. I can tell you that much. So like I said, you can't discredit him. And then at the end of the day, we still gonna have money to pay our guys at home that we currently have. We got some contracts coming up, and players are gonna need to get paid. You're telling me that you want to go out there and get these guys that's probably not going to stay 3 years on the roster, and you sacrifice some of that cap, and then you got these big names coming up that are currently doing very well on your roster, and it's going to ask for a big payday. You're going to have money to pay them. So, hey, look, you got to choose one. Would you want to pay Jonathan Taylor in the future, pay his top dollar of what he's doing, or would you want to go get some vets and try to risk it all? Even though the AFC is freaking stacked, and it probably won't pan out anyway. So it's kind of like a 50-50 with that scenario, with the free agencies and all these guys, or what we're doing in the offseason. Like I said, it sucks. I totally get that. I am with you guys. I want some talent here, but like I said, the market is broken. The market is broken from those big contracts that got pushed out, and now everyone else is asking for big money. It ain't gonna come from Indy. Simple as that. But Matt Ryan is an upgrade over Carson Wentz, 100%. Like I said, this doesn't discredit from Carson's performance last season, but he just had those moments where he just had you on the edge of your seat in the bad way. Most of the times when you say, oh, he got us on the edge of our seat, this dude is going crazy. He was just roller coaster Carson. And you know what's crazy? I mentioned that argument in the middle of the season when the Carson Wentz fans tried to defend him. And they talk about he's not a roller coaster. Oh, we don't have this. We don't have that. He has his ups and downs. It's just how he plays. It's just as simple as that. And when you bring in a guy like Matt Ryan, who I think is still a significant upgrade, being as though of the age is not nothing but a number. We did the same thing with Phillip Rivers, who was pretty much older. And he almost got us into the playoffs. Simple as that. Like, we lost to the Bills, but he got us there. He just lacked arm strength. So now Matt Ryan comes in, who looks like he could be a guy that we pretty much can fit into the system, can get some weapons. But, I mean, like I said, we still lack weapons. We still do, but we still have those gadget players that can be a huge piece moving forward into next season. The Naheem Hines of the world. The Paris Campbell, if he can stay healthy. Michael Pittman Jr. can be his number one target for sure. He likes targeting the tight ends. We can do that. We got a run game. Offensive line can definitely bounce back after last season. All of these things can play a part going into next season of why he can be a huge upgrade over Carson Wentz. The left-handed passes, the blown interception, the pitch interceptions, like all those things, the not adjusting, the not seeing the blitzes, the not reading the defense, basically what I'm saying. All of those things, Matt Ryan can do better. He can just adjust better. He just is. He's just an elite talent. He can read those defenses. He can adjust. He can stand up in the pocket. He can hit you over the top. He can do those things. He's not perfect, but he is definitely a significant upgrade over Carson Wentz. And this is where you guys get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan. Who's better? Are they the same? Are they both mid? Let me know all these things in the comment section. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.